Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Nadiya Shah, for having me and my beloved soul platonic friend Bruriyah with me here. I know I have been a guest for Nadiya Shah's channel many times, and it's always an honor and a privilege. And I'm so grateful to you all who comment on my videos. Thank you so much. And today I felt really excited and inspired to share with you all because I have in the past year and a half, since actually, let's say 2 years, some of you might know that Saturn, the planet Saturn, came into Pisces in something like March of 2023. And I am a Pisces Sun and a Pisces Mercury at 15 degrees of Pisces. So when that happened, I was invited to step into more adulthood at age, I'm 54 now, so it was invited to step into more adulthood. And part of that process was there was someone online who was featuring Bruriyah as a special guest, and Bruriyah was doing these free webinars that involved the words travel hacking and also like building your credit and financial literacy. And I was like, oh, like I had never thought about it ever before. And I will tell you all that is very true. And again, I just was like, money will come to me. It's going to be fine. And then when Saturn came into Pisces, Bruriyah bubbled in front of my eyes in this magical realm. And she was speaking on camera, which immediately also I want to say like puts her in a position of, oh my gosh, this person really knows what she's talking about, which she actually does. Like she Bruriyah is she's so smart. She is such an expert. And what I would like to do is I want to share with you all our story together, and also share our charts together, our synastry charts, to bring in the astrology, and then also share how the vehicle of financial abundance, finances, education about finances, financial literacy has been a way for me to my whole world to open up, for me to find this incredible, beautiful new soul friend, which is, not something that happens every day. And you'll see the way our charts dance together, also why that has happened. And for my whole world to expand with some of the most incredible people that I've ever met in my life. So, and I also want to add in that I'm recording this right now. We're recording this on the 26th. It's the 26th of September,
Yes.
2025. And in a few days, I'm going to go have dinner in person with Nadiya Shah, which is so exciting, in New York City. So here what I'm gonna do right now is share my screen so you can all see Bruriyah's and my charts together, because I think that that will be really, really interesting for you all as people who are interested in astrology. So let's see. Bruriyah, is that visible to you?
Yep.
Okay, great. So you can see here, this is, for those of you who are newer to astrology, this is called a synastry chart. And if you have not yet even learned how to look at a chart and read it, it's okay. You can also learn. I invite you to receive this as a transmission from me and Bruriyah. We both are incredibly connected to the all that is, and the way we work around the energy of money and finances is extremely connected to the quantum field of infinite potential. You don't usually hear people saying that, but it actually is true. So what I would love to draw, like those of you who are looking and can slightly understand Bruriyah's and my charts together, the first thing that is so beautiful about us together is Bruriyah has her sun at 0 degrees of Leo, and it's right on top of her midheaven at 0 degrees of Leo. And it's in her 10th house. You can see the little 10 here. So Bruriyah is here to, and she's wearing this beautiful golden shirt right now, this profound 0 degrees. It's the anaretic degree. It's the Aries point of the astrology sign of Leo. So picture this. It's like I'm Bruriyah and I'm holding the energy of 1.3 million planet Earths worth of sunlight, because that's how big the sun is. And I am out there in the public eye, whether I want to be or not, being seen on screen, which immediately, and my son, I radiate this incredible, gorgeous energy simply being me. I'm very leonine, even you have a lion's mane like you actually do right now. And where she lands for me is on my rising sign. My rising sign is at 26 degrees of Cancer. So it's an out of sign conjunction. And when I came across Bruriyah, something about her frequency vibrated for me a new way of going out into the world. And when I saw her on screen, I was like, huh, I really like that person. She's really amazing. She knows what she's talking about. She has all this knowledge. She also doesn't look like she's been in her body that long, which you haven't. Like, you're not, what are you, 42 now? You
Yes.
just turned 42. Like, she, and I'm 54. So I'm like, how does she know all this? And then, like, so I'm gonna keep narrating what our story is. So what happened then, and I'll bring in our astrology charts. So here's Bruriyah holding this vision of the vision is in some way I'm here to shed light, shed warmth, heart chakra energy for all of humanity in a very public way. And I have my sun Mercury at 15 degrees of Pisces, which for Bruriyah lands in her fun house. She has no Piscean planet. So here I come into her field and she's like, "Oh my gosh, the fun has arrived." Like I feel like, oh thank God. Like I feel like that's sort of the way our charts dance together. And so here I am, and I'm like, how I met Bruriyah, then the next level of meeting her, because she had only been on the screen for me, was I was trying to teach myself something about money. And I was like, let me try to learn crypto. And I was in this crypto container, or a mastermind is another name for it. And I'm studying and studying. And someone in there writes, would someone be willing to help me with my training by sitting with me for a complimentary financial strategy session? And the person's name was Lobsterbird. So my North Node is in Aquarius and my Venus is in Aquarius. So I love things that do not fit into a box. I am not here to fit into any box. Lobsterbird certainly doesn't fit into a box, and also free with financial does not usually fit into a box either. So I said yes. And this was like about a year ago, and I sat with Lobsterbird and Lobsterbird sat with me, and so lovingly, and I want to add in, like, I had no idea what to expect, and because I had never looked at my finances, I had never done something like this before. And Lobsterbird sat with me and helped me go over my budget and looked at my debt and looked at what money is coming in and what money is going out. Lobsterbird said to me, "Do you have any money in retirement accounts?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like I had no idea. So it was an interesting exercise for me to then figure out that I had $44,000 in the United States. It's called a 401k. And I'm like, "Oh." And then Lobsterbird was able to, all of this is complimentary, like sat with me over and over and supported me in taking that money into a personal pension fund for my own self, where it will not be affected by market volatility and it will only grow. And I'm like, why did I not know about this? And it's because it's kept from people like you and me and the people who are watching Nadiya Shah's channel. I'm imagining you are connected to magic. You understand that there is something beyond what we see in the 3D. You allow in that the planets vibrate and have a resonance, and your life dances with your soul blueprint. So the fact that this was all, if the frequency of money is in the hands of people like us, the world it will be very, very different. And so because I knew Bruriyah had created, it's called the Vortex Collective. She had created this incredible, gorgeous Collective, and I was like, I want to. Lobster Bird said, "Are you interested in joining us?" And I was like, if Bruriyah's in there, yes. Like I felt like it was a little bit like getting to be in like Meryl Streep's acting class or like Madonna's pop stardom. Maybe Madonna like 40 years ago. And Madonna's a Leo, by the way. And Meryl Streep is a Leo. Oh my God. What? I just picked Leo. Sweet. That was totally like angels and guides putting them in my head. That's really funny. So also my South Node is in Leo. So Bruri and I definitely have known each other for many, many lifetimes. And then we found each other again. And Bruri, are you open to sharing like what it was like when you first encountered me? And I can weave the astrology in.
Yeah. You probably can explain it astrologically.
Mm.
I mean, so the first time we actually really had time together was when we had an in-person gathering last winter in Southern California. And the thing that just struck me about Natalie, and it is really my fun house, but like more than that too, is just your radical authenticity. And we're in a space, it was like a professional convention center. It was like a conference setting where many of them are wearing suits and ties and serious and studying these like financial literacy concepts. And Natalie just comes in with her rainbow hair and her like yellow dress and her rainbow fanny pack, and she's just dancing. She's just marching to the beat of her own drum. And like, there was just something so incredibly refreshing for me about encountering a being like you in this world who, as you said, is 54 years old and like still is that connected to their authentic self. Because I feel like so much, unfortunately, it's unfortunate to me that so many of us have, dimmed our light, have dimmed our sparkle because of conditioning, because of society, because of, external expectations from our families and our friends and our communities. And so we shrink ourselves into these little boxes confined to what we think people want us to be. And Natalie is like the ultimate permission slip to say, F that. We get to just be who we really authentically are, and just the amount of joy and exuberance that you are, that is your beingness, just lights up my world, and it gives me continuous permission to invite myself into deeper authenticity. And how can I release, my fear of external judgment and shame and people pleasing tendencies and all of that. And so that was like the very loud and clear boom that was your like entrance into my world. It was just awe and wonder, truly like wonder. Like, this is an awesome being. Awestruck. Yeah.
I love when you're saying that. What I'm seeing in our charts together, you said like giant boom, and your planet of shock and surprise, Uranus, is lit up by my Jupiter Neptune is conjunct in Sagittarius. And so I have a very big Jupiter makes everything bigger, like not fitting in, like boundarylessness, very big boundarylessness. And so like it is, and it comes in and meets your Uranus, and it is like a boom. You're like, whoa, what the heck? Wow. Because for you, with your, there is a lot of attention in your chart, and it lands for me like where is it? It's like in my fourth house. It's interesting. I'm just having like an aha moment now. Like if those of you who are looking at Bruriyah's and my charts together, Bruriyah's Pluto and her rising and her Saturn all land right at the base of who I am. So like your very existence gives me structure at like the, again, at the root of my isness, at like my secret chakra. That's what it feels like. And also, Bruriyah came into my life as she was finishing up her Pluto square Pluto. So it's also for me, like you are a transformed being at this point, and you are, and I'm part of the new story. Like as you have gone through basically like traversed the depths of hell and back. So and we have all of these gorgeous overlaps in our charts. Another one is that Bruriyah's Neptune and her South Node, her stuff from a previous lifetime, my Mars sits on that. So we give each other energy for, I give her energy. This is a story that I make up around this conjunction for us, is that I give Bruriyah energy to continue to release the stories from her most recent past life that are no longer serving her. And Bruriyah, with her Neptune sitting on my Mars, it's like, Natalie, can you use all of your creative libido, Mars, to imagine bigger? To imagine, like, because one of the things that Bruriyah has with this incredible ability to this, again, for me, it's the 0 degrees Leo, is being able to hold a vision for a lot of people all at once. Like you're doing that now because Bruriyah now has this incredible community at the Vortex Collective, that came out of the your inner world. Like it is a psychic life that you birthed, and now we are in the form of incredible humans and healers and psychics and channels and artists and doulas and death doulas. And am I missing any other trauma informed psychotherapists? Like one of the people in this incredible community is like has her done her postdoctorate work at Yale in trauma informed psychotherapy. I mean, really, so what I was feeling also was I saw some of Vortex Collective speak at another summit online, and I was like, I belong in the room with those people because like at 54, and if you are young, I hope if you're younger you can relate to what I'm saying. At 54, and after 50 billion trillion years of Jungian analysis, astrological studies, trauma therapy, recovery from addiction, I now really feel like I can say, oh my gosh, I'm really amazing. I still feel, I feel shy saying that on this, even on this recording, and it's okay. Like I can say it and feel shy because I have been through so much and like still am in my body, and I have so many talents and gifts that have been forged through the experiences of staying incarnate. And I could see that the people who were speaking on this summit also are amazing, whether they know it or not. And Bruriyah was one of them. So I was like, I want to get in the room with those people. And I don't know what that looks like. So one of the ways was saying yes to joining the Vortex Collective. And I didn't really even know what I was joining, but I was just like, I want to be with those people. Yes. And also I knew that I would be seeing Bruriyah in person in like a month because I knew there was a conference, and I was like, yes. And then let me tell you all that what it's turned into for me is getting to, I love working one-on-one with people. I have an incredible heart of service. People who have hearts of service often do not necessarily get financially compensated for the service that they're doing in the world. And that is a paradigm that has been simply accepted by most of us as this is the way it is. And the Vortex Collective has challenged that status quo for me. And it's really been an interesting journey for me to stretch in that way, because when I came in, for me, my story, talking about money at all, is that it's shameful and should be kept a secret. So to come into this energetic space, again, for me, this is for Bruriyah being the seed of the creation of the Vortex Collective, where I get to go on stage and practice a new behavior. Like I actually performed as an opera singer at the conference where I was just meeting everyone for the first time. And they were like waving their napkins in the air. They're like, woo! Like these are people who have never heard opera, and like I'm like, like it was really so that mixing that with the financial realm, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I can be fully myself here and walk across the stage and say this. I said, I am going to be a $700 million earner. And everyone cheered for me. And I was like, whoa, like this is really different than what my ancestral scarcity mentality has taught me. So, another opportunity in Vortex Collective is to release the ancestral curses of scarcity mentality and poverty. And you're so supported in this incredible group of beings in doing that alchemical work over and over and over, really leaning into the idea that if it takes years, if it takes lifetimes, we let it be as it is, because this is not necessarily a one lifetime release. So, and another thing that is so incredible about Bruriyah that feels so supportive for me in my daily life is that her moon is in Capricorn. And it's like, it just immediately makes me, I can take a big breath. It's so, she's, even with all of her visionary skills and talents, she also brings things back to the 3D. Like, this is what is the next right thing for me to do. And that's a lot of energy to hold for a collective of a lot of people who are out in other realms and dimensions. And Bruriyah brings it back. Like, you bring it, you do. You're like, okay, this is, now we're going to do this, everyone. Here's this place to put your numbers in. And what it does for me also is, as I work with people astrologically, I have clients astrologically coming to me, and I want to specify that they're in the United States and Canada. Those are the areas so far in which the Vortex Collective can work. I have people coming to me like, "Oh my gosh, I hate my job. This sucks. I want to quit. I've had a traumatic experience." And I'm like, "I actually can support you, I believe, to possibly not work there anymore, because I am also an incredible holistic trauma informed comprehensive financial professional." And I want to say for you listeners, I have goosebumps. I'm giving my own self goosebumps because my Saturn, my planet of work, is in Taurus, which is money, in the 10th house, which is my career. So I've always wondered, like, what is this Saturn in Taurus in the 10th house? And now here I am working as a financial professional, in addition to being an astrologer and a magical being. And all of those things can intersect in the Vortex Collective and are held and honored. And it is like a place that I never even knew to have a fantasy could exist. All of these ingredients all together. And I wonder, Bruriyah, like, what's bubbling up for you as I'm speaking, like, or something you'd want to add or sticking out?
Yeah. Yeah, I just, what's bubbling up for me is something we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, was just how, like, in many ways, the Vortex Collective is that for me too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for those of you, I'm one of my most impactful teachers in my life has been Abraham Hicks, and they're an amazing spiritual teacher. And one of the things they talk about is the vortex, which is actually where the name Vortex Collective was birthed, was from that idea. And Abraham talks about the vortex as this place where all of your highest, most expanded timeline dreams, manifestations already exist in the quantum fields. And our work in this physical reality, because we came here in this physical reality to play in the 3D, but to, like, work with the 5D. We came to work with the 5D realms and to bring it into the 3D. And so for me as well, I had all of these, what Abraham refers to as rockets of desire, throughout my life. Like, I wanted to, create abundance for myself and for my family. I also do have a special child. And so a big vision of mine has been to create a utopian farm community for him. And, I had the vision of actually creating a physical community of conscious, like-hearted beings where we could actually, create the new earth paradigm together. And so I had all of these seemingly separate rockets of desire, And the beautiful thing about the vortex and manifestation, according to Abraham's teachings, is that when you are in alignment with your higher self, and that's when all the magic and the synchronicities begin to happen, then source and spirit begin to bring all of these cooperative components together and fill in the grid in the 3D with everything that's in your 5D vortex. And what's so cool about that is that it always happens in a way that will surprise and delight you, in a way that's bigger than anything your finite human imagination could have ever imagined. And so for me, the birthing of the Vortex Collective also was this magical confluence of all of these, like I said, seemingly separate rockets of desire that came together in this magical way. And it really is the best co-creation at its best, because like Natalie, like you said, it doesn't just contain my vortex and my dreams and my visions, it contains the entire communities. And that's what co-creation is all about, right? And so yeah, it just, everything that you were saying about the role vortex has played for you, it's actually played that role for me too. I just happen to be sort of like the channel through which source decided to birth it.
Mm. And as you're speaking, I'm also thinking of your incredible, like Pluto, the planet of power in the 12th house, at the final degree of your 12th house, and how the 12th house can be related to the collective for like, and I picture your Pluto, this is the imagery that comes up as like this power, like this incredible magnet, this potent magnet for from the collective, the highest, most aligned beings to find, to hear your signal and then land with you as you completed your Pluto square Pluto. Whoa. Yes. And also, my throat is itching, but I'm not going to scratch it because that would be a weird sound on camera. Also, your your vertex, which is your fate, lands in my house of friendship. So it is your fate that we are to be friends. I know, it's so beautiful. And then your vertex or my vertex lands in, oh, it's interesting, in your second house of like feeling like this is home. My vertex is in Sagittarius. It's like it feels like home here. I feel like grounded. It's my fate to like be a grounding force for you, even though I'm so much out here as well. And also it's my fate to have a relationship in some way with your relationship with money. The second house is the money house. Um, and I want to say to those of you who are listening and are maybe curious about what it's like to be an entrepreneur, if you happen to be someone who's working a 9 to 5 job, which I did for 13 years and it served a purpose. It was my recovery job when I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was like, I know where I have to go every day and I know where my paycheck is coming from and how much money I'm going to make and my benefits. And then eventually it just did not work anymore. And I am like, oh, I am my boss. I am my boss. And the thing that, another thing that happens in Vortex Collective is because it's so many creatives and so many people with so much creative libido, we also get nonstop $5 trillion worth of mentorship about how to do entrepreneurship, which I honestly did not know. I had no idea. And it's like, oh, I can study something on YouTube. No, no, no. It's different to have an actual live person that you can be in communication with all the time. And then at the same time, I'm sitting with clients and because I already know how to do that astrologically, it feels so beautiful to also be able to say, hey, guess what? I can help you retire now from your government job, and I can set you up with your own personal pension plan and have you actually making more money in retirement. This was like the way this particular case happened to turn out. And have my astrology client also sobbing with joy that because this kind of information is kept from the general public. Because again, if people like us, magical people, have money in our hands, the world would be so, so, so different than it is right now. So this feels much bigger to me than necessarily like making, well, even though let me say this. I had some sort of idea in my mind before that it's not for me, and it's like gross to talk about something like life insurance, and I felt repelled by it. And now I'm like, I want to sing it from the rooftops. And I know that there must be people listening who are like, also like, oh my God, don't even, why are you bringing those words into this video? And this is what's coming up for me. First of all, my emotional world, my moon is in the 12th house, which is again the house of the collective. It's in Cancer. I care very much about everybody. Bruriyah's Mars, her planet of action, sits on my moon, so it's helpful, and it's in her moon. Her Mars invites me, I feel like, to get up and actually do something um tangible, like in the vein of the hero. Like Mars can is the ruler of Aries, and Aries is the hero. In the vein of the hero, like, hey, let me come and support you and help you with these tools that I have to get education, to get financial literacy, to understand that there's good debt and bad debt. Bruriyah's Venus, which is how she loves and how she likes to be loved, lands in my house of money. So for her, she what happens, what bubbles up for me is that her planet that is related to money actually lands in my house of money. So she helps me very pragmatically and practically to understand how to draw financial abundance to myself. Like there's actually a formula. It's a formula. There's a formula. Like and Bruriyah's, her Venus in Virgo, she is like a spreadsheet creatrix, which I really do not enjoy. But she also, her North Node is in Gemini. Like it is such a zone of genius for her. And I'm like, I see you. I am cheering you on so much. Oh my goddess. Oh my goddess. So yeah, I feel like what I want to share with you all who are listening, if you are like me and you had never thought about money, or you feel like this conversation is not for you, or you're not worthy of it, I would like to be here to be the disruptor for you. My Uranus and my Pluto are in the third house of communication. And they also land for Bruriyah in her 12th house. So I am here to continuously wake Bruriyah up, wake Bruriyah up, wake Bruriyah up even more, like to connection to spirit, connection to the all that is. Remind her how supported she is nonstop. Remind her of her power. And for you all listening, I am here to do that for you as well. Like we have been fed. I better be careful what I say. We have been invited to be quite hypnotized in the world by messaging that wants to disempower us all over the world. It's not just the United States and Canada. So what happens when we start to wake up to actually, even the idea of I am a spirit having a human experience, and I am the author of my script, the screenplay. I'm the author of my screenplay. I'm the actor in the movie, and I'm also the director, and I'm also watching it. And if that's the case, like how do I want this script to play out? And I want to I want to let you all know I'm not I'm still in a big in between of like, this is new. This is new that I'm learning about finances. And I still feel a little scared sometimes. And then I can borrow some of Bruriyah's faith, because she has so much faith, because she's been doing this 10 years and she sees how it works. And she has a 6-figure income after 10 years in this business. And she has this gorgeous team of beings that she actually wants to spend time with. Like, can you imagine actually really being so excited to go to work? Like, that is also something I'm experiencing as well. Like, we have Zoom calls twice a week, and I said to Bruriyah after a while, I was like, can we have a call every single day? And she was like, that might be a little much. But like it's so delicious being with, I have never found myself surrounded by such uplifting beings. I'm usually the uplifting being in the room. So yeah, like do we want to share a bit of what it might look like if the people listening would be interested in dancing in our astrological vibrations pragmatically? Do we want to talk about that?
Yes, you can leave it to the Capricorn moon to
Yes,
bring.
please. Seriously. Oh my goddess. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you. That was such a beautiful, just all of that. It was just resonating with me so deeply. All of your words. Yes, you're amazing, Natalie. So, yeah, there's two key ways that another magical being could interact with our community. So, and in the pragmatic 3D sense. So, one is actually sitting down. We have a network of independent, conscious, holistic, trauma-informed financial professionals. Natalie is one of them now. She's actually a licensed professional, which is so cool, to add to her already illustrious accolades. But so we have this amazing network of the most incredible beings, and beings that are just like Natalie said, just like her, like artists, creatives, visionaries, healers, doulas, psychologists, somatic therapists, you name it, like the most incredible beings. And they've all found this common shared vision that Natalie spoke of wanting to resource the creatives, wanting to resource the light workers, right? Like the beings, the way showers that came here during this time to uplift the collective. And we obviously, to do that, one aspect of that is having the awareness, having the consciousness, having that spiritual awakening. And anyone watching this channel is probably already there, right? But the second aspect of that is being actually physically resourced, because for us to make these goddess sized dreams a reality, we have to have money, because we do exist in this physical realm. So one way that a person could dance with our community is actually to have a complementary financial strategy done for them, just like the one Natalie described that she received at the beginning with Lobster Bird, another one of our amazing conscious financial professionals. So that's one aspect, one way someone could dance with us. And like Natalie shared, it's totally free. We don't charge a sitting fee to do that. That's a part of our ethos. That's a part of our core values, because we really believe in not gatekeeping this information any further than it's already been gatekept. We really believe passionately about equipping every single person on the planet, whether they are already a multimillionaire or whether they have 5 cents in their bank account. We believe in equipping them with, first and foremost, the education, the literacy to empower themselves, and then also the actual tools, the actual physical instruments to allow them to potentially stop working, like Natalie talked about, to retire at a certain age, to buy their first home, to send their children to college, whatever is their vision, their goals and dreams. And that's actually part of that process, is that our amazing professionals will actually take a really detailed inventory of what are your goals and dreams. That's the first place we start, is what's important to you. Where is it that you are wanting to go? What is it that you're wanting to achieve? And then they do a whole process to essentially reverse engineer how you manifest that in the 3D, in the physical realm, with dollars, with your actual money. So it's life-changing. It's a life-changing transformational process that I truly believe every person who goes through that is never the same as they were before, because knowledge is power, and then we can also help you even apply that knowledge and that power. So that's one way that someone could dance with us, and it is a supreme privilege and honor to support people in that way, in that capacity. The second way someone could dance with us is, Natalie also alluded to this, is to actually join our network, right? So we have this incredible community, this incredible network of independent financial professionals. And so someone who might be drawn to this path is someone who maybe is either looking for an additional stream of income to what they're already doing, whether they already have a very successful career, maybe they're already a very successful entrepreneur doing something else, but they want to weave this into their current offerings, having another stream of income. It could be someone who's looking for a total career change as well. It could be someone who's been working a 9 to 5 for who knows how long, and is just like, I'm done with the rat race. I'm done with the hamster wheel. I want to be my own boss. I want to design my life. I want to have control of my time. I want to have control of my income. And that's one of the beautiful aspects about working in these realms, is that the financial industry is definitely the most lucrative industry in the world. There's very high profit margins in this industry. And not only that, we've combined that with a very Aquarian business model where it really is a win-win-win all around. So we have leveraged income models and all sorts of other things that really amplify the already high earning power that the financial industry has to offer. And then it could even be somebody who, isn't so sure that they're even cut out for this work, but maybe they just believe passionately in what we do. And they're like, you know what? I would love to just refer people to you. And if that's you, there's actually a way that we could potentially work with you as well on a profitable referral partnership basis. So there's all of the variety of options. And in our community, in our network, we have people who are single moms, we have people who are raising families, people who have full-time jobs, people who have part-time jobs, people who are doing this full-time, and this is all that they do. So it's completely up to the individual, the hours that they want to work. And so that's the second way someone could dance with us, is to join our amazing community of entrepreneurs and holistic financial professionals.
Oh, yes, I love that. That was so beautifully expressed. You're so good at that with your Capricorn moon. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I love it. And as you guys can see, I had put up a QR code while Bruriyah was speaking. And if while you're watching this, if you want to scroll back a little bit and you can get that on your phone, you'll be able to get an intake form there to get an appointment with us. And I also want to invite you all, as Bruriyah expressed, to remember that we are leaning in. We have been in the age of Pisces for the past like 2,000 years, more or less. And the age of Pisces was around, I'm going up to the top of the mountain and I'm going to achieve enlightenment. And I'm not going to tell anyone about it because Pisces is the sign of the loner. So now we're leaving that, and when we're going through these giant progressions in that particular realm, it goes backwards. So we're moving back into the age of Aquarius for the next 2,000 years, and the age of Aquarius is about community. It's about interconnectivity. It is the mycelium, the mushroom network, and as Bruriyah talked about, this network that we are in, this gorgeous collective of interconnectivity where we actually acknowledge that and name that we all impact each other. Like I'm not operating up in a cave in the Himalayas. I am actually here working with a group. For me, it feels really good because my North Node is in Aquarius, and also Pluto right now for everybody is in Aquarius for like the next 20 years. Pluto is power to the people. So perhaps you can feel into this lighting up, this excitement, this joy in the idea of, oh my gosh, I don't want to participate in this schematic that has been fed to me of the top down, which is the Pluto and Capricorn energy. I'm actually here to witness and support the energy of power, which can be money in the hands of all the people, the collective. And also by doing that, I am remembering, and also Aquarius energy is also related to large groups of children. So there's that as well, like this idea for me of, the parts of my little girl, Natalie, that did not feel a part of, that she felt othered, that she felt like, I'm sort of playing along here and can do the act, but I know that I'm different. And then she gets to be welcomed into this collective of everybody being expressing their own Uranian qualities. Uranus doesn't fit into any box, and we're being invited now as a collective to do things differently and to explode Uranus, the structures, Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So for the past like 16 or 17 years with Pluto in Capricorn, we've been like, okay, this is the way things are done. And then Pluto just disintegrated it over and over and over. And now we are in a fresh new story. And perhaps you would like to be express part of that story by sitting with someone in Vortex Collective, or actually joining us. And it's so exciting. I am so enthusiastic. And if you follow me on social media, you will see, you know how enthusiastic I am about this. So, and I know that Nadiya Shah is an Aquarian as well, and she is also she's a Canadian citizen, so she's part of this whole, like, she could be involved in some way if she wanted. And in any case, we are so grateful to have this opportunity to share some of our charts, our soul blueprints, the way they interweave with each other, and also um, this soul mandate that we both feel to share this message about financial education, financial literacy, how we want to support you in those realms, and how much we would love to speak with you if you feel lit up by what we are saying. We would welcome that. And what I'll also do is put a bunch of this information underneath the video so that you can click on that and get in contact with us that way. And is there anything else you'd like to add at this point, Bruriyah? No?
No, I just love you so much. And yeah, for those of you who are listening to this, if you feel lit up by, that, if you feel like that sort of strike of lightning that I described feeling when I met Natalie about this, or about us collaborating with us, then I'd just love to invite you to really honor that feeling and that intuitive hit, and to reach out, because we would love to connect.
Yes, yes to that. And thank you all so much for watching. And thank you, Nadiya Shah, for having us. And I will be pressing stop now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.